Hey guys, this is Chef Jody Brunori. Welcome to the Vander Farmers Cooking Show, Episode 7. Today guys, we're doing the picanha, and we're going to do this two ways: skewered on the grill and the culotte in a pan on the oven seared. Today we have the picanha, and this comes from the rump of the cow. It is also known as the sirloin cap. It has a great layer of fat on top, which we're going to keep intact when we grill it. Intermuscular marbling inside of there. Really beautiful. Yeah. So look at this, you guys. It's very, very lean other than this fat cap on top. And this will render down when we grill it. We want to cut it about 1 inch thick so that we're able to have it pliable in order to put it on the skewer. So essentially we want to do 2 little C's like that, and then we're going to skewer it, and then we'll season it up really well. These are great skewers for the picanha. Just got to be careful you don't hurt yourself. This is kind of a reach for me, Riego. All right, so we're gonna season this up real good. And like I said, this is a really lean cut of meat. It's a muscle in the cow. It doesn't get a lot of activity, so it's not gonna be really tough. Super buttery. The fat on Wagyu is incredibly delicious. And then another way we can prepare this is triangular shaped. So it comes to a little point here. And another cut from the picanha is a culotte. And we're just going to cut right here. And once again, look how beautiful that is. But in this piece, we're going to take off this fat cap. And we're going to sear this up. Serve it with a mushroom sauce. So this is a very versatile meat. For a while, it was a butcher's secret. They wouldn't sell this to the public. They would take it home for themselves. And this is very, very popular in Brazilian cooking. And today we're going to make a bone marrow chimichurri with it. We have some Wagyu bone marrows, canoe bones, and those come from the leg of the cow, the femur. And those are roasting, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the bone marrow in the chimichurri the same way you would use the olive oil. So it's going to enhance the flavor. It's going to give the chimichurri some richness. And for you guys that are wondering what chimichurri is basically Argentinian's ketchup. It's a combination of citrus, vinegar, fresh herbs, garlic, and it's absolutely wonderful. So we're going to take this out to the grill and get that rocking and rolling, and while we're doing that, we'll make the chimichurri. Okay, we're going to make the bone marrow chimichurri now, and chimichurri is a really easy condiment to make. Comes together really quickly. I like to put a little bit of red pepper in mine because it gives a little bit of color, a little bit of a little snap, a little heat, sweet, and then red onion, some parsley, garlic, red pepper flakes. We're going to use the bone marrow, and we're also going to use some red wine vinegar, and this is going to complement the picanha really, really well. So let's get into it. You want a pretty small dice on these onions. And we're probably only going to use about half because we only have 1 order of that picanha. I'm going to go ahead and put those in the bowl. Save this for later. And then our red pepper. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there are female red peppers and male red peppers. And you tell by the bumps on the bottom. Little useless fact for you there. All right. And once again, this is just a really, really fresh, great condiment to go with the richness of the picanha, that fat cap, all the flavor inside of there, the marbling, a little citrus, little pop of fresh herb. It's going to complement it really well. And I have the bone marrow in the oven right now. We'll show you the finished product when that's all set. And like I said, it's like the best amount of fat. A little bit of garlic. A little bit of red pepper flakes. A little bit of red wine vinegar. And then we're on to the parsley. I don't mind chopping up the stems of the parsley because they are edible and it saves a little time. If you're not a fan of the stems, go ahead and take all the leaves off. But if you get a fine enough chop on that, you shouldn't even notice them. If you want a quick little cheat, you can put this in the food processor, but I don't like to cheat. All right. Give this a quick stir. And then we're going to add that wonderful bone marrow in here. Super, super tasty. So one of the fun things about chimichurri is that you can personalize it. There's always a base recipe, you know, especially with cooking from different countries and so forth. But make it your own. Put in there whatever you want. You want a little dash of horseradish. You want a little Worcestershire sauce. Oop, I said that right. Usually I call it watch your sister sauce. And, you know, today I'm putting in some green onions. I think, you know, the heat and the snap and the herbaceous of all this going together goes so well with the rich, fatty Wagyu. And I say fatty in the best way. It's the best kind of fat. When animals are raised the way they're supposed to be raised, it just produces such a better product. They are meant to live outside in the winter. They eat from the land, and it just shows in the finished product. I mean, you see the marbling in this picanha over here. It's gorgeous. And the fat cap. That's wild. So we're going to add the bone marrow next, and this is just so colorful and bright and beautiful. And we're going to add the bone marrow while it's still hot because it's going to kind of cook these vegetables a little bit, and it'll bring out the depth of flavor as well. All right, so here's our bone marrow. And once again, these are called canoes. And they're cut from the femur, and inside everybody's bone there's marrow, and you can see that. Ooh, it's just liquid deliciousness. So here are the canoe bones. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. This, if we had a nice loaf of bread, spread that on a nice piece of bread, it'd be so good. But we're gonna put it in our chimney. So like I said earlier, this is gonna be kind of like the fat. So the fat in chimichurri is olive oil. So we put a little bit of olive oil in here, and the fat is just melting away, mixing in so nicely, and it's cooking these vegetables a little bit as well. I think we need to do one more. This is like a delicacy at fancy restaurants, bone marrow. You can eat it with bread. I've served it with potato chips. The bone marrow is so good because it is it's excellent, and it's warm, it's fatty, it's umami, it's all those things all in one. So.
That's umami.
So we're gonna put this over the picanha when it's done grilling, and oh man, I wish you guys could taste this. It's delicious. As a matter of fact, we're not gonna waste this last bone. We're gonna put that right in there.
So what's what umami means?
Umami is, you know how you have all the flavor senses?
Yeah.
Sweet, salty. Umami is like the last one that came on board, and it's just deep, rich, salty.
Earthy.
Okay, so this is the picanha after it came off the grill, and we're gonna take it off the skewer, give it a good slice, and then we're gonna serve it up for whoever is ready to taste. Now you always want to cut against the grain, so you can see the way the grain is running right here. So we're going to cut it this way. If you don't cut it against the grain, it's going to be very, very tough, and you're not going to be happy with your meal. Oh, look at that, guys. It's beautiful. Grab a platter. It's beautiful mid-rare. I can hear a little crunch in that fat cap. Spoon. And now, since we put the warm bone marrow in the chimichurri, it's kind of seized up a little bit with the cold, but once we put it on this warm steak, it's gonna loosen all back up again. And there you have it. Skewered picanha, bone marrow chimichurri.
Woo!
Dig in. Looks good. This is so good.
Flavor, so the picanha, it is nice, fatty, beefy.
Really beefy.
Tender.
Tender.
Really beefy, really tender.
Super juicy.
Yeah, and then in combination with the, it's just like, you get a little bit, it's not a kick, but it's like.
It's a pop.
It's a pop, but it's like a.
Pop of flavor.
Pop of flavor.
Yep, just takes it to that next level.
Yeah, so you take a bite, it's kind of really like, oh, what do I stick in my, what did I just stick in my mouth? Oh, I should not have said that because people are gonna make. This is.
So good.
I have the fat. I have a piece of
It's
fat.
got the texture
Oh my gosh!
of a sirloin,
It's.
but it still melts in your mouth.
Yeah. Look at this. This marbling.
Gorgeous.
Nope, there we go.
It's just insane. You see? And then of course with this, we're eating like, how do you call it? Neanderthals? No? Am I saying it right?
Neanderthals?
Yeah. That word. You know how hard English is? If anybody can tell me what I mean when I say farlookers, what is it? What is a farlooker?
What is a farlooker?
No, yeah, they have to guess.
Okay.
If you guess it right, you can win a prize.
There you go. A Wagyu prize.
Yeah.
So this was the skewered picanha.
Before was because is. Sorry.
What?
Was is in 10 minutes. Then it was the picanha. Now it is a
Oh.
picanha.
This was the picanha that we skewered and we char grilled. Super great crust on it, and then we made a bone marrow chimichurri to go with it. And it's
Yeah.
a little slice of heaven.
Yeah, and again, we had to sacrifice to try.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, she did ours.
Next we're gonna do the culat. Comes from the picanha as well. And we're going to pan sear that, and we're going to make a portobello mushroom cream sauce with that. All that intermuscular fat.